Camping and RVing are awesome, no argument there, but let's be honest, they only get you so far. Eventually, you hit that point where the road disappears, the trail gives up, and even the toughest 4x4 just isn't happening anymore. So what do you do then? Easy. You call in a helicopter. As wild as that sounds, helicopters are actually helping adventurers set up camp in some of the most remote places on Earth, and there's a team in New Zealand that's built an entire business around this idea. They're called Work and Play NZ, and they specialize in mobile cabins that can be delivered to places cars, trucks, and trailers simply can't reach. Leading the charge is Rob McLean, a guy with more than 35 years of experience working with fiberglass. On top of these helicopter-ready cabins, the company also builds travel trailers, truck campers, tradesman trailers, and even boats. So yeah, they know a thing or two about building tough mobile structures. Their most eye-catching creation is what they call the Heli-Hut, and the name pretty much says it all. These cabins are designed to be lifted and transported by helicopter, meaning your camper can be dropped almost anywhere you can imagine. Just picture it for a second. You're standing in some remote mountain spot or rugged wilderness area, and your cabin literally gets lowered into place from the sky. That's not camping, that's making an entrance. And here's the fun part. You don't even need a super remote destination to do this. If you really wanted to go all out, you could book a campsite in a park and have your cabin flown in by helicopter just because you can. Is it extravagant? Absolutely. Is it unforgettable? Without a doubt. People would be talking about that move for years. Of course, helicopter time isn't cheap, but if you're after a story nobody else has, this is one way to get it. And if flying your cabin in isn't your thing, no worries. These units can also be transported the traditional way on a trailer. Now, lifting a cabin into the air isn't exactly easy on the structure, so these things have to be built differently than your average camper. If you tried to hoist most RVs off the ground, they'd probably twist or collapse under their own weight. That's not the case here. While Work and Play doesn't spell out every detail of how the heli-huts are constructed, they're clearly designed to handle repeated lifts without falling apart. What we do know is that weight plays a huge role. Depending on how they're equipped, these cabins come in at around 440 to 650 kilograms, or roughly 970 to 1,430 pounds. That's impressively light for something meant to be lived in. It's likely there's some aluminum involved in the framing, and from the images, you can spot internal crossbars and trusses that appear to be made from fiberglass as well. And fiberglass really is the secret sauce here. One-piece fiberglass shells are incredibly strong and can hold their shape even without tons of reinforcement. Just look at classic fiberglass campers, like the old bowler units, many of which are still around decades later. Fiberglass doesn't rot, it doesn't rust, and if you take care of it, it can last an incredibly long time. There are fiberglass campers out there that sat unused for years and still came back to life just fine. Another bonus is cost. As manufacturing techniques improve, fiberglass has become a relatively affordable material to work with, especially for creating durable, lightweight structures. In the case of the heli-huts, they're built using two shells that meet at the floor, and depending on the design you choose, the upper living module is a single-piece shell. That's a big deal when it comes to strength and longevity. The lower section of the cabin is a bit more mysterious, since Work and Play doesn't go into detail about what's down there, but it's safe to assume that's where all the essential systems live. You can spec these huts with diesel heaters, hot water systems, plumbing, and at least one setup clearly shows a sink inside. So yes, this isn't just a fancy box dropped in the wilderness. It's an actual livable space. Inside, the layouts can vary quite a bit. Some versions show double bunk beds and basic amenities. But the big selling point here is customization. These cabins are built for both work and play, which means they can be tailored for glamping, research projects, remote job sites, or even a quiet hideaway where you can work in peace while surrounded by nature. As for price, that's the big unknown. The company doesn't list any numbers on their website, and honestly, that makes sense. When everything is customizable and every delivery is different, pricing is going to vary a lot. If you're serious, the only real way to find out is to contact Work and Play directly. Just keep in mind that if helicopters are involved, the overall investment can climb pretty quickly. Still, it's hard not to love the idea.